Hi, Gary and Alice here from RV Sometime. Today we wanted to spend a few minutes and talk about our current trailer, what our current rig is. And I guess we'd start off with saying that we have a fifth wheel. It is a 2023 Cougar. Model number is 23MLE. But, well, how did we end up with a fifth wheel anyway?
Well, it was really a surprise to both of us, I think. But we have had numerous travel trailers. And one of the reasons I was drawn to having a fifth wheel was because it was something different. We're going into our retirement years, and it seemed like a new adventure to me. And that's one of the reasons that I was drawn to the idea. I know you have other reasons for being drawn to the idea.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise to me, too. One of my colleagues at work had mentioned that she and her husband were swapping out their RV, the Class A motorhome. Very nice unit. And they were swapping it out and getting a fifth wheel. Came home and I was talking to Alice about that. And we kind of were discussing the fact that, well, we just never looked at fifth wheels because we didn't drive a pickup truck. We always were towing with an SUV. And, right?
That's a problem.
That's a problem, yeah. So, and the reason that we always had an SUV is because we have grandkids. And any given moment in time, they might be with us. And so having that extra third seat in the back was very handy for hauling the grandkids around. And so, we started with an Envoy and then moved up to a Yukon and a Tahoe. And then eventually we, decided to go for the fifth wheel thing. And so we swapped over then.
And so we started the rather lengthy search for the right pickup truck so that we could pull a fifth wheel.
Yeah. Well, so the question comes up then, why the Cougar 23 MLE? And of course, the reasons anybody picks one RV over another, whether or not it's the type of RV or the individual model, floor plan or whatever, is going to be different for everybody. Okay, so some of our reasons might not be ones that resonate with you, but we'll let you know where we were coming from on that. I think to start off with, I was concerned about the size. I did not want to sign up for going from a SUV up to a Super Duty 3/4 full ton pickup, possibly diesel or whatever. Mostly because our tow vehicle is one of our daily drives. We have two vehicles, and I didn't want to have to feed a big monster truck every week to putz around with. So I wanted to stick with a half ton. Now I'm going to spend a little bit of time on another video talking about the whole half ton towable thing, relating between the truck and the trailer. But suffice it to say, that was the limit that we wanted to put on it as far as weight goes. I think one of the other things that we were looking at was what happens when we're on the road and we want to pull over to a rest stop.
That was a huge concern for us. We expect to be on the road quite a bit, and we like to be able to stop at rest stops along the way and use our trailer for having lunch or a pit stop or whatever. So it was important to us to be able to use most of the trailer while we were on the road. We wanted access to the refrigerator so that we get to our food. We wanted access to the bathroom so that we could use that. And the bedroom was a bonus in case we wanted to take a nap. We are getting older, and that might come in handy someday. So those things were very, very important to us. And when you bring the slides in on a lot of the models that we've seen, we just didn't have the benefit of all of those things. So we were very set on making sure that it was accessible while the slides were in. Also,
Yes.
Our children have land that faces a lovely bay near Lake Ontario, and where we park our camper has a beautiful view of that lake. So it was very important to me to have windows on the end of the camper, the back end of the camper, so that we could look out onto that lake. Our current trailer was a back living room travel trailer, and it had an enormous picture window in the back. So reducing it down to a little bit of a smaller window was okay, but I had to have a window because we don't want to waste that view. So that was extremely important to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another thing, of course, was storage, and of course, most travel trailers, even let alone fifth wheels, have pass-through storage of some sort. Fifth wheels usually have a larger one. This one's no exception. It's got the big door on the campside, a little bit smaller door on the driver's side, but either way, it's got good size storage on the outside. But on the inside, even more surprises, right?
Oh yeah, we had some really nice things on the inside.
Oh
yeah. The cabinet underneath the sink was huge, bigger than the one I have at home, and it could hold our wastebasket and our recycle bin. In our old travel trailer, the wastebasket and recycle bin greeted you when you entered the camper, and that was just so nasty. So now we have a beautiful cabinet underneath where we could put those things, also store some fresh water, and we have a wonderful pantry in this camper, oodles and oodles of space. We use it for our tool room is one shelf, and our food goes on another couple shelves, and some paper goods storage way up on the top that he has to get for me. And then we have the wardrobe, which was another bonus since we're going to be traveling for longer periods of time. It was important to have just a little bit more storage for our clothing and such. So those were things that were very important to us. And there was one little item that really got us going on this camper, and I'll let him explain what that was all about.
So when you walk into the camper, and a lot of campers are laid out this way, the floor plan, immediately to the left is the dinette, okay? And so there's a dinette wall there. We've had this on the past couple of trailers that we had. And of course, there's storage available underneath that bench, okay, where the dinette is. And so the past two campers that we've had, I've cut a hole in the bottom of that wall so that, and trimmed it out nicely and everything, so it doesn't just leave ragged paneling there. And thankfully, the flooring obviously goes all the way through there. So it allows you a place to put your shoes, okay? Because otherwise, when you walk in the door, your camper, there's shoes piled all over, you're tripping over them, etc. So a lot of great storage things. Another feature, and this is something I think that Keystone, which is the parent of Cougar, has been doing on a lot of their brands, is the inclusion of a solar package. Okay, they have 3 different levels of solar. They have the 200 solar, they have the 400i and the 600i. The 200 is standard, which is basically a single 200 watt solar panel mounted on the roof of the trailer. And then they've also were including at the time the lithium batteries, 2 100 amp hour lithium batteries. And the next step up is the 400i, and that would have 2 200 watt panels. And then the I stands for an inverter. It has a 2,000 watt inverter. The inverter will take the 12 volts from the batteries and convert it up to 120 volts house current. And it's hooked up to several different outlets in the trailer, so that when you're not getting shore power, you're not plugged in anywhere to get regular electricity into your camper, the inverter can provide house current to a lot of those outlets. Anyway, different levels. We were going to be doing some boondocking, which for the uninitiated is basically camping where you're not plugged into shore power anyplace. We're members of Harvest Hosts.
That's right.
And so this is a subscription that you pay for every year, but they have thousands of locations around the country of local businesses that will allow you to park overnight on their property and for at no charge. and all they ask is that you stick your head in the door and and patronize their business. Okay, so buy something, right? Basically. So we've been doing that too, and that's been very interesting.
That's been a lot of fun.
Quite a bit.
That has been a great deal of fun. We enjoyed, actually, before we settled on the fifth wheel, we were headed down to Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is where we first saw the unit that we purchased.
And a recommendation, if you are in the market and you're looking and you're not quite sure what you're looking for, being able to attend one of these large RV shows around the country is a really good idea. It will expose you to probably many more manufacturers than you would probably see in your local area. Plus, you would get to see some of the new floor plans that the manufacturers are coming out with, which is really kind of cool, which is what we found. The floor plan that we got was brand new at the Hershey show. And also they have show specials, and we got hooked on that, and we ended up buying it at the show. So anyway, and there shows, the Hershey one, there's several of them that claim to be the largest RV show in the nation. Hershey being one, there's another one in Tampa, and I think there's one out west, either in Arizona or out in California, I forget which. But the Hershey one for us is only a state away, so it was not too bad of a trip for us at all.
No, it was wonderful. It was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, well worth the trip. A couple other things we liked about the Cougar was it has a 12-volt fridge, which instead of the old ammonia evaporation units that have been around for half a century or more, that most of us have had in our previous trailers, which run off of propane and or electric. This is strictly electric. It's a 12-volt compressor type fridge, so it's more like your refrigerator at home. It's bigger than the typical RV fridges that you're used to. They cool down faster. They're more efficient. They use less power. It's a beautiful unit. Yeah, really like it.
And also, since we do leave our trailer down on the property at the bay, if the electric goes out, the refrigerator will keep running.
Yeah, because the solar will keep it powered.
Because the solar will keep it powered. So that's a really nice advantage for us, because you can't always depend on the electricity in some of those more remote areas. So that was really nice to have just an extra little security feature, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. And one of the things we found, which most of you have probably run into as you've looked around for trailers, and you probably find that you have created your own list of things that you want, like we had. And as you look around, you'll find that, hey, guess what? There is no single trailer that clicks all of those things, right? So you'll probably find you had to make some compromises, which we did as well. A couple of things we ran into. Well, one of your favorite peeves is, having to, making the bed is a pain in a trailer. You know that, right?
When we purchased that trailer and we're shopping for that trailer, I said, absolutely, positively, under no circumstances will I have a trailer without a bed slide. I have to tell you that trailer did not have a bed slide, and we did just fine. But this trailer has a slide, but it's for the wardrobe, and it's a little tight around the bed. You kind of have to just scooch around there a little bit. We had to go to the short queen mattress. We're managing, but that's one thing I would change, just a little bit.
Another compromise that we ended up in. This is interesting because our son's camper. I noticed shortly after he got it a few years ago, he was emptying his holding tanks, and I noticed he had 2 holding tank drains. Oh, no way would I ever get a trailer with 2 drains. Guess what? The 23 MLE does indeed have 2 drains, right, because the bathroom area is, typically on a fifth wheel. It's at the top of the stairs, right? So, black water, gray water from the shower and the sink in the bathroom are up there. It's a rear kitchen. Okay. Kitchen's way in the back of the trailer. So then we're going to run that gray water all the way up to the front to the other gray water tank. They put another gray water tank right down back there, and so that's where that one drains from. So there are two drains on that. I've been doing it now for a year, and
so far so good.
So far so good. I've kind of gotten used to it, so that's remember that. So that is how we ended up with our Keystone Cougar 23 MLE fifth wheel.
Thanks for stopping by RV Sometime.
Where our sometime
is now.